Major news, the Red Sox are seeing one of their key prospects rise on one of baseball's top 100 prospects list, and I don't think it's going to be the guy that you might have expected to see here. So we're going to be talking all about Roman Anthony today, not Marcelo Mayer, and his meteoric rise on Baseball America's top charts. So hello everyone, I'm Evan Sharrard. Thank you for joining me here on Red Sox Digest. I've been moving into a new apartment, so if the lighting's kind of weird, that's why, and maybe the backdrop's unfamiliar. Pretty similar though. I've usually had just white walls, so that's what I've got here. So thank you for joining me. Please make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest Red Sox information. Now that I've gotten moved in here and my classes are beginning back at college, I should be able to get to a more regular scheduling here where I'm more consistent. So sorry about that break that we had, but we're back here talking about Roman Anthony. We're going to get started with this post that we saw now on social media. The Instagram of Baseball America and Red Sox player development, Salem Red Sox and the player development of the Red Sox posted that they've had some top 100 changes on Baseball America's list here as they're tagged in this post. And number 2, this surprised me, Roman Anthony is a guy who doesn't get to catch AAA games all that often. I am wearing the Worcester Red Sox, the Polar Bear for Polar Park hat today to commemorate this day. So Roman Anthony's really who we're talking about. Mayer's up at 11, but Anthony shocked me. He's number 2. So why don't we take a look into how he got there, right? So there was a great article posted by Baseball America, and we will just start taking a look at it now. So this was their risers category, and Roman Anthony went from number 16 to number 2, which is a huge step up, and it's 14 spots. So let's just kind of dig into this article, see how he got here, and then I'll offer my commentary along the way. So we can just kind of see here, Junior Caminero was number 1, and when he graduates, Roman Anthony might be the number 1 guy. And that has been so awesome to see from a guy who is 21 years old, very young. They're saying that he's ready to be in the big league. So this was just kind of the preface. Let's step up now to the next part of the article where they're really talking about the skills that he has. And you can read along. I'll leave it up there for a little bit. But he has an incredible bat speed, and he's got power. And really, we're going to see a quote from Brian Abraham, the Red Sox director of minor league operations, that really talks about his approach. And that'll be the next kind of slide that I'm bringing up here. But I just love seeing Roman Anthony, a guy who I hadn't heard of 5 years ago, on the Red Sox, in the Red Sox system, waiting to come up and join this outfield. And as someone who was worried about Tyler O'Neill leaving in the offseason, if Roman Anthony produces for the rest of the season, it's September now, so he might just come up, and he produces in the big leagues, it's going to be pretty crowded out there. And I would not mind giving Roman Anthony a spot there to start young, and heck, maybe they extend this guy if he's a superstar. Because they're really comparing this bat speed here in this article to James Wood. And James Wood is a highly touted prospect, for those who don't know, for the Washington Nationals. And this guy's come onto the scene in all the fantasy baseball leagues I'm in. He's been like, I have one guy who's in one of my leagues, and he roped him up like a week before he was even going to play a game. He's like, I'm getting on the train early. So I love, after the Dave Dombrowski era in Red Sox baseball, and for those who are unfamiliar, Dombrowski would sell prospects to try and win. And for a team that was at that stage, I loved that. But now we're seeing the shift to, and this happened when they hired Chaim Bloom years ago, the ownership wants to move into a territory where they are able to actually focus on sustained success. The Red Sox have gone through these periods where they go from worst to first. What a story. What do you mean, what a story? We do this every year. It seems like, in 07, they're the greatest, and they were pretty good for the mid 2000s, but from 2004, then 2005, they were there, but not quite as good. And then especially 2013, they went from worst in 2012 to best, winning the World Series in 2013, to worst in 2014. And then Mookie Betts comes up, and Jackie Bradley's here, and Xander Bogaerts has developed a little bit more. And now you've got a new core. David Ortiz is still there for a couple more years. They go and sign some pitchers. We get David Price. Chris Sale comes along the next after 2016. And after 2016, 17, 18, 19, and then the rest is history. But the Red Sox have had, my point being there, is the Red Sox have had a lot of times where they build up this team, it's ready to go, and then it's like, crap, we lost everybody. All right, we suck now. And I'm ready for the Red Sox to be like the Dodgers. I am. I want to be competing for a World Series every year because, and I like to say that it's not just because I'm a Red Sox fan and a spoiled Boston sports fan, but the Red Sox, baseball's different. There's a payroll, and you can spend however much money you want as long as your owner permits it. And so, historically speaking, the teams that spend the most are frequently the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Braves. Those are the first five that come to my mind in terms of shelling out the big bucks in baseball, and the Cardinals are in there as well. The Red Sox have been playing like Tampa Bay Rays to many people. That's kind of what we've heard for the past few years. And I really don't think that, but I don't blame people that say that because of the payrolls that they've taken on really up until pretty much this past season when Bloom went after and got Masataka Yoshida, and then we made some other signings this year and after that. So this is really exciting to me because it is a sign that we are getting to a point where, hey, it's time to get excited about the guys that are in the minor leagues in Boston, because we might actually be having guys that are going to contribute that aren't just, oh, maybe. Like we had Devers, and who else? Now it's Rafaela. Now it's Tristan Casas. And they seem like they're going to be the future of the Red Sox right now, besides Rafael Devers. And those are the three guys right now who people are probably most excited about on the Red Sox. Besides Jarren Duran, of course. Jarren Duran was another one who was from that Dombrowski era. So I can drone on all day about that, and I'm sure plenty of you would love it. I'm sure most of you hate it. So we'll move on, and we'll talk about the quote here, right here from Brian Abraham. Before we get to the graphic I'm going to show you, just kind of showing that he's a well-rounded player, like I mentioned, and then Brian Abraham goes on to say this, which was really just talking about his approach at the plate and how effective he can be. And I think that these are kind of like, I don't know if these are necessarily changes in Anthony's game, but they're aspects of his game that Abraham brings up to show, hey, this guy's getting better. And he was in AA this year, and now he's in AAA, and he got taken up to AAA Worcester with the likes of Marcelo Mayer and Kyle Teal. And Anthony, like, they're basically saying, Brian Abraham saying, this is a guy that we need to watch because he can change his approach, and big league commentators talk about it all the time. You'll always hear John Smoltz or whoever is on the call as an analyst saying that, oh, right there, batter just pretty much, he didn't try and pull the ball all the way. He just took what the pitcher gave him and he sent it back the other way. They talk about using the whole field all the time. And from that quote, that's pretty much what I got. Like, Roman Anthony is staying disciplined in his approach, and that's really what the Red Sox need right now. And to me, when we're talking about young prospects, especially those who can hit, the biggest concern I always have is, are they going to be disciplined when they need to be? In a big spot, can I trust this guy to put up a competitive major league level at bat? And from that quote and from what we're hearing from Worcester, I think we can. I'm starting to think that Roman Anthony might be the best prospect on the Red Sox. I mean, Baseball America certainly thinks so, but there's so much that goes on when drafting players, and Mayer was so highly touted. And for those who followed baseball back then and followed the draft closely, the Red Sox were reported to have gotten a steal with Mayer at short. And he's known as a really solid defender, and he's going to have some competition there in the infield when he comes up, whether it's this year or next year, or for some reason a year after that or some other time. But Roman Anthony is a guy that's made a lot of noise and he keeps making noise. So much noise that Baseball America's got him number 2. Now, he's not number 2 on other lists. He's not nearly as high, but he's within the top 20 on most. And that's pretty good consensus. A top 20 prospect, you can start to hope. So in a time where the Red Sox are kind of skidding, hopefully I was able to bring some of you some hope with this, because he's given me hope, especially as someone who, if you watch my video about how I thought that this Red Sox team is different, I sound really dumb saying that now because, heck, I was wrong. Right now, they're not showing that they're different, and unless they pick it up in the next month and have a sensational September, I will have been wrong again. And it won't just be a skid. It'll be like, all right, the pitching fell apart. They figured it out. So, great article on The Athletic about that from Jen McCaffrey about how the Red Sox pitching may have been figured out as well. So check that out. Thank you all for watching. I'm Evan Sharrard saying so long. Thank you for learning all about Roman Anthony with me today. And if you're not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned. And so long. See you soon.